Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slightly Off Podcast. My name is Chris.
I'm Will.
I'm Victoria.
I'm Danny.
Special guest Danny.
Danny, who are you? Where are you from?
Oh,
How did you get
who
here?
are
Let
you?
in.
I'm well. Listen, wandering through the chat rooms one day. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a admin for the RT SoCal group, and I'm also known as AH_Dan the man from the site. I made the Achievement Hunter Minecraft 4-year anniversary video for the Let's Play community channel. So, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, thanks guys for having me on.
brag.
Yeah.
Of course, man. We're really excited to have
absolutely.
Oh, really? Are you?
you. Well, not anymore.
Not
Well, we're only
anymore.
slightly
All right.
happy to have you.
To be fair, like if this is one of the guys that keeps me up until like 4 a.m. talking in like the group me chat
Well,
most
I'm
listen,
nights.
glad
Victoria.
you clarified that he kept you up talking on the group chat, because that was about to get
Yeah,
really
okay.
weird.
I mean, listen, we're kind of far away. What?
What is that? That's like 1,000. No, it's over 1,000 miles, isn't it?
I
don't
mean,
know.
listen,
I'm
I'm
just
surrounded by
saying.
you Floridians right now, so I'm a little far off.
Floridians, please.
I know,
Oh,
right?
I'm
Get
sorry.
it
We're
right.
not some sort of weird Luigi spin-off.
Floridians.
I know, right?
Yeah,
If anything, we'd be
alright.
Mario. Anyway,
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Because we're cool like that.
Sure.
All right, so
Okay, well-
we're pretty much here to talk about the most important thing of the week.
Yes. Ish.
And E3! Woo!
Yay!
Oh, yeah.
That was last
RTX,
week.
cough,
yeah.
cough.
Cough.
I know,
Oh,
right?
Okay. Well, that's a little
Coming
bit later
soon.
today.
we're being
That's a little
bracketed by very important weeks. On one end
Oh,
you got E3,
yeah.
and on the other end you have RTX. So I mean, there's lots to talk about.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, I think there's like a week in between each of them.
I know,
like
that's
a
what I'm
full
saying.
Week,
We're,
but
we're
yeah.
bracketed by
the week
important
between
weeks.
weeks.
There you go. See, Danny's got
Yeah.
it. He knows what's
okay.
Yeah,
up.
I got it. It's like the space between spaces.
Oh
you know.
man, I like this guy already.
I'm just going to sit
Oh,
here and nod
thank
my
you, sir.
head.
Good thing I'll never be coming back here. Yeah,
It's okay.
Oh, no.
It's okay. We'll just
one-
find someone to replace
Oh,
you. We got
yeah.
plenty of offers.
Of course, yeah.
Oh,
Listen,
Victoria,
we
why
can
you gotta
always
say
find
things like
someone.
that?
Oh, well, listen. I mean,
Guys,
that
we're
is
world
true.
famous.
Everyone
Like,
did.
we-
The second I responded, everyone was like, "I want to do it." So that was the only reason why I was here.
We have another guy. We have another Californian. We have
Brianna.
a Canadian.
Yup.
There was someone else. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
shout
who
out to
it
Oh,
Michael
was.
and
Victoria
Brianna.
doing a bad
Person.
job of remembering.
I remember 2 out of 4.
Was it
2
Joe?
out of
Well,
4.
I guess it's 3.
2 out of
3
4.
out of 4, including Danny.
Yeah, there you go.
Victoria
I'm
doing
here.
the maths.
Good thing my name
What
is
is
on
math?
Thankfully,
screen.
this is
Yeah.
podcast not video games.
You almost
Actually, it
forgot
is
my
top
name.
in the. It is in the top corner.
Yep,
It's
there
like
you go.
right there.
So,
All right,
Chris,
so who? Well, here let's start off with this. Let's just start off. Fun fact: who won E3? Just
Nintendo.
name it. Nintendo. Okay.
Nintendo did not win.
No.
No.
All right.
Sorry.
I would say
Victoria.
that
That was
it would-
reflex.
I think it would be between. Well, here's the problem with Bethesda. Bethesda's conference just was awesome, and then 20 minutes of Dishonored. So I would say,
Yeah.
I would say
was-
besides the whole Dishonored thing, I would say Bethesda won. But I kind of thought that Sony and Microsoft were very good. That their
I
press
thought,
conferences
yeah,
were
I
really
would
good.
cast my vote to Sony just because they had a lot of new stuff that I don't think a lot of people were expecting. Because, this was
Yeah.
like, it seemed like this was the year of leaks.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, yeah, no, that stuff, please.
Yeah.
Here's all of our stuff we were hoarding.
Yeah,
know.
not
in our
only
vault.
not only that, like all the stuff that they were, because people were upset that they weren't going to be unveiling their console, and they thought Microsoft would win just because they're unveiling a new console. But the fact that they were able to hold their own with just like PlayStation VR and stuff like that, I thought it was really good. And obviously the Norman Thetis was pretty great as well. So yeah, so yeah, I really liked Sony's press conference. I thought it was really cool. You know, what I
Definitely,
didn't like though?
agree.
What didn't you like?
I did not like because I played a little bit. I did not enjoy Mighty Number 5 Mighty Number 9.
Mighty Number 5.
Yeah, that's the name of this podcast.
That's what-
Mighty
that's
Number
what it-
5.
That's what it feels like, though. Mighty Number.
That's
You're
what-
expecting Mighty Number 9, and you're kind of
actu-
disappointed with Mighty Number 5.
Yeah, I know it got a Metacritic score of 6, and granted, it was a good attempt at trying to replicate how Mega Man was, and I appreciate their effort, but it was just not Mega Man. It wasn't. Yeah, you get what I mean. Yeah.
No, I definitely know
So-
what you mean, and it's I don't know. It's just after we had talked about that earlier, I went back and watched some footage of it, watched some gameplay, and it didn't seem like the Mega Man I remember. Especially when it comes down to a lot of the abilities and a lot of what you remember from, just like the core gameplay.
Yeah, but
And
that being said, I'm hoping that they won't get discouraged. Capcom, that is. I hope that they don't get discouraged from making another Mega Man game because I really do like that game series.
yeah,
But speaking of Capcom, Dead Rising 4, that was awesome. I loved that. Have you guys seen stuff for it yet?
Yeah, absolutely. The
A little bit.
honestly, which is probably the same what everyone else liked. At least off of right off the bat is the pictures, the selfies.
I love that, and I love the fact that because they mentioned it in the interview that they had with Rooster Teeth, that if you move the stick, it actually changes his facial
it has
expression.
the different face styles.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was incredible. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game because I love Frank West, and I'm very excited to see the different zombie types because it doesn't seem like they're doing too much Left 4 Dead stuff. It seems more like they're doing okay.
Yeah, what
you
was
can't.
it? There were 2 or 3 different types.
Yeah, there are
of
3 different
zombies
types.
now.
Yep, there are 3 different
Yeah.
types. Yeah, it was the one that was they're like faster and stronger and stuff like that. They can do
Yeah,
all
they're
the
they're
stuff
like
the player
evolved
can.
types.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the regular ones, and then they upped them to basically, they turned them up to 11.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And then they have like the ones that just like break and they just become normal zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and then I can't
Which is
remember
really
what the third
cool.
type is. I know that there were 3. I might be wrong.
I think there was I don't know if you said already, but there were the ones where they kind of turn into like the DayZ zombies.
Oh yes.
Where they're actually like self-aware kind of
fresh
and
zombies, yes.
intelligent, and they'll go and actually like they'll go for you.
Oh.
They're not just gonna like kind of hoard around and.
Oh no! You know what? The one that I missed, I think it was like that super buff one or whatever. Isn't there like a really big zombie or something like that?
It's possible.
Yeah, I can't remember, but either way, it looked really good. I'm really excited to see Frank West back, so that'd be pretty cool.
So one game that really jumped out at me, which I was not expecting at all, which I think is what made it probably one of my favorite announcement trailers of E3, was the new
yes.
SpiderMan game.
Yes, I knew
Yes.
what you were talking about the second that you said it.
I know, it's just
it
like
looks
so-
so cool.
As soon as the trailer came on, I was like, all right, first of all, the costume isn't like anything we've seen before. So, I feel like we're not getting tied down to like any specific type of story, or it's not going to have to like try and follow a movie. It's going to have its own story, and they're going to have a lot of freedom when it comes to what the gameplay is like, what like the move sets are, what's happening inside the story, and I'm just really excited about that. And based on the trailer footage, it seems like the mechanics have just gotten so much better since the previous Spider-Man games, especially since the previous Amazing Spider-Man
2
games.
was awesome.
Yeah.
And we should notice that mention that it's a new company that's working on the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
Yeah.
Insomniac Games.
Yeah,
who did Sunset
Insomniac, yeah.
Right.
Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet and Clank. So
I'm
I feel like-
surprised because isn't the Spider-Man one supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive?
yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's PlayStation. Yeah, it is supposed to be PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, which I'm surprised because Insomniac Games made Sunset Overdrive for Xbox only, so that's why I'm really surprised to hear that.
I'll need to double check that because I know
Yeah.
it was talked about exclusively for PlayStation, but it might have just been exclusively for PlayStation in terms of the
content,
trailer
like,
footage. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
it could be that it's going to be released on multiple platforms, but I mean when you look at the gameplay for Sunset Overdrive, grinding on rails and all of the type of like movement mechanics, I'm really excited
Yeah.
to see how that's going to translate into the new Spider-Man game and how they're going to be really creative in creating new types of attacks, new types of interactions with webbing, and how they're going to make Spider-Man the new Spider-Man game take a step forward from the previous ones.
Yeah, no,
But honestly, what this reminds me of is like, because correct me if I'm wrong, but they had like amazing Spider-Man games like released within the past few
Yes.
years. This reminds me of like Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I
from,
was talking
like,
about that earlier, yeah.
GameCube.
Yeah.
that
And
was
honestly,
so
that
awesome.
was like the first game was fun. The second game took like such a big leap forward that became one of my most favorite games for a while.
just as web
Just
swinging.
because it was and just it brought in different villains and characters from the comics that weren't from the the actually movie at all, and it was just it was a great expansion to it. And there was actual open world roaming and stuff like that. You could do
Exactly.
side missions, you could deter from the main story, and I think that's when it's like that. I hope it's kind of going to be like that, and that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and especially like in a world without the Arkham series anymore, we really need a brand new, really good superhero game because
Yeah.
Batman
Yeah.
was incredible. And
It's interesting you bring that up because I feel like this Spider-Man game is going to be to the Marvel franchise as to what the Arkham series was to DC. It's this superhero game not based on a movie, but put in the hands of a development company that's really going to do a great job. And I feel like it's going to be a really great springboard for future superhero games in the Marvel series.
Yeah, and especially because of the fact that Marvel has like been dominating the movie franchises, obviously,
Yeah.
as compared to
Oh,
DC.
yeah.
But yeah, as far as TV and video games, it really is the other way around, where DC is.
That's usually DC.
Yeah, that's DC's
Oh, yeah.
domain.
Especially
Each
considering
are trying to break into the the opposite, and they aren't really doing that well, which is kind of funny. I just find it interesting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
think about
it-
what kind of Marvel games you have right now. I mean, it's like Lego Avengers, and that's really about it.
Well, okay, but Lego will take anything and make it
Yeah,
like
good.
sellable and amazing.
Still, but I
Yeah.
mean, like if you
I-
look at the Marvel series right now and games being released, that's really about it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much how it's only been. I'm trying to think of like anything from the past. I remember like years ago playing some sort of like
Well, DC has
It was-
Injustice.
Oh, there you go.
Injustice was DC.
Definitely.
Yeah.
By the way, that's another game that was at E3. Injustice 2.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and we forgot to mention Arkham got a VR thing for PlayStation as well. Yeah.
which what was it? They were talking about how they had to be really careful with the VR because of how fast you move and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
and
people
just
getting
the-
sick.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, which I thought was interesting. I never considered that before, but yeah, I guess that'll throw off like the rhythm in your body and will actually physically make you sick, even though you're just standing there.
Honestly, I think that PlayStation is going to have one of the most dominant VR headsets, only because, as what I've heard, it's very consumer friendly and it's very comfortable to wear, whether you have glasses or not. So I think that something like that might be a huge selling point, especially with all of the amazing games that will go with it. And Microsoft hasn't really talked about it too much, which I think they might get left behind if they don't start saying something soon, because they showed HoloLens at last E3 and it was incredible, the whole Minecraft thing. And then just
Oh
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I mean, HoloLens came out and you didn't hear anything else about it after a while.
Yeah, I know that they're working with NASA for stuff, but it's kind of weird. I know that they're trying to perfect it and stuff, but I'm very surprised that we haven't heard anything VR related to the Xbox at all.
They might wait till Gamescom to talk about that.
That is true.
'Cause,
That's true.
And-
That's
I
a little
mean,
more
they
overarching.
last year people got mad at them because they just didn't focus enough. Well, they did focus on games, but they still had like 15 minutes of it was HoloLens.
True, yeah, and that really brought down the conference. But yeah, it's funny because PlayStation did something very similar, and it ended up working out really well for them. And I'm really glad because I'm hoping that games will sort of start shifting towards VR, and hopefully it'll be good because obviously it's brand new and.
Well, yeah, and obviously things are going to be like that. They're going to be terrible when they start off, and then they're going to get slowly better, over time. Well, hopefully not slowly, but, maybe after like an iteration or two, they'll, fix all those changes and bugs, and it'll be, like the next sort of like add-on to consoles. That'll be just brilliant.
We are
Yeah,
getting
and-
Fallout 4 VR.
Fallout
That's
4.
pretty
Oh my god, that
That's-
was like one of the highest points of the Bethesda press conference. It was
Yeah.
incredible.
It was like Rocket Fire there. They announced Skyrim Remastered, which was rumored to have come out, or was one of
Yeah.
the leaks, and then
Mhm.
Fallout 4 VR was kind of this new thing. Nobody mentioned it. Nobody even thought about it. It was just other than people wanting to go back.
And I
Yeah.
feel like that's going to be really important moving forward with VR, is really incorporating those popular AAA titles into VR experience. You know what I mean? Because it's like when the Vive came out and when that came out, there were a lot of like very specific VR games that came out along with it. It's like, here's the Vive, and here are VR games that are really going to take advantage of those types of controls and the VR experience. But I feel like Bethesda's really jumping on what needs to be done in the future by taking games that we all love and incorporating them into VR headsets, which is, I think, going to be crucial for the industry.
The only thing I see about that is that, like, while I agree, like, yes, we do need to get more, larger titles like that. But the thing is, like, it's new technology. So yeah, they probably should start out with something smaller, and especially Fallout 4, Bethesda, Skyrim, they are known for their bugginess.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now
yeah,
imagine
That's
that
what makes them so much
with
fun.
virtual reality.
Oh, imagine, because
Not saying that it's not going to come out. It will come out eventually, but just think about how long it's going to take. I mean, the last frickin' Skyrim game we got was, I mean, I guess if you want to consider Tamriel Unlimited, but like we haven't got a new like Elder Scrolls game. How many years has that been?
yeah.
And they're like, no, we'll just throw out Skyrim again.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
I mean
well.
is that you just need like either like incorporation of current games into VR, or just I don't know, creating options for if you come out with a new game, there's also a VR mode or VR controls that you can use.
That's
Because
cool.
Yeah, and
I feel
I
like
agree with
that's gonna move more of those units than
I just don't know if
specific
Bethesda
games.
is the right company to do this based on how long they take to do things.
And
Yeah.
especially
Not saying
so
that
early
their
as
their
well.
content is great.
Hey,
Don't get me
absolutely,
wrong,
yeah.
it is great, but by God, they take forever to release stuff.
Also, Ubisoft had that new game, that new franchise that they made. Was it like a snow sports?
Steep.
Yeah, Steep. Here's the
I always
thing.
want to call it Peak.
I know, right?
I always want to call it Peak.
But here's the thing about this, and I am so surprised they didn't announce VR support. That would have been
I
the
know.
perfect game for that.
It would have.
Like, because looking at it, I'm like, well, looks boring. I don't want to play this. And then
Honestly, any first-person game, like first-person view, that it would be perfect. But that one especially, because there's not
it's so
a
pretty.
whole lot to it, especially like from a development standpoint. Like you got snow and trees and some foliage and mountains. Like, yeah, it's gonna look pretty, but there's not all that much to it.
Yeah, and
It
yeah,
should be easy.
especially it seems very obvious too because of the landscape, the first person, like how you said. Man, it's a little disappointing to me because
I
the
mean,
game looks.
to be fair, they did just announce it too. They
that's
could
true.
be implementing it.
That is true. Yeah, they still have like what did they say, 2018 or 2017?
I have no idea.
Okay.
If they said 2017, it could still be 2018 by this point.
Oh, yeah,
with
just
the way
'cause-
E3 announcements are going. Listen, still waiting on Andromeda. It's been like 3 years now.
Yeah,
Can
I'm glad that you brought that up.
Well,
They finally put out some gameplay stuff, kind of. And
It's not
Additional,
even
like,
gameplay.
They added an extra 60 seconds.
I know, and it's
Just
just
enough to
so
tide people over.
irritating.
Exactly.
I want it. I want it right now.
Yeah.
And they know
it's
you
such
want
a
it. They're
tease.
like, we're gonna
That's
hold on
what-
to this.
That's what all of the EA conference was just a tease. Literally a tease.
Yeah, I know.
Like, they're like, oh, here's Star... Oh, just kidding. This is our plan for it.
They're doing it because they know that I hate it, okay? And they are evil, and they're trying to make me as irritated as possible, waiting for it. And it's been a long ride. And speaking of that, I was so excited to see Crash Bandicoot finally at E3 again. And
Yeah.
it was just a remastered game, and I was so upset because I thought it was a new one.
Can we
So-
talk about the creepy shadow that was going on behind the dude announcing
Oh,
it?
yes. That was...
At first, I thought that was like supposed to be a part of the presentation, but I was like, what could that
Me too.
possibly like? What is that
No,
supposed to do?
it-
It's Aku Aku.
There you go.
Aku Aku, there you go. Listen, have you guys seen Doctor Who? That
Go on.
shadow,
Nope.
you need to watch out for it, okay?
It's the Vashnarada.
Yeah, Vash Neverata, yeah.
Oh
my God,
gosh,
two
you
shadows.
Whovians.
Hey,
So,
shut
like,
up.
I thought I was a Whovian, but dear God.
Dude, I have seen one
was-
episode of Doctor Who, and that's one too many for me. I can't do it.
Listen, the show starts off pretty not great, but then it gets better as it goes on.
If you can get past Plastic Mickey, you're aces.
Yeah, no kidding.
Honestly, it's the kind of thing where I like not watching Doctor Who because it makes people upset in the same way that like some people don't or like haven't read Harry Potter because they love telling
you just
people
want to
they-
cause chaos.
Exactly. They're like, yeah, I've never read Harry Potter before, and then there's just chaos and madness. Like when people are like, yeah, I don't watch Game of Thrones or I don't watch Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
no kidding.
You just like
because. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying it's like it just brings about this like crazy side of
hatred.
people that you never
Yeah.
thought they would have even had. You're like, what do you mean you don't watch Game of Thrones? You're like,
You fucking noob.
I know,
You
right?
need to
You're like-
watch it.
as
It's
soon as
so
people
good.
start going off, I'm like, I need to get some popcorn and a chair because it's gonna be good times.
So,
and here's
Will,
the
do you
thing.
want to tell us
Yeah,
why you
here-
don't watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah, I do, Chris. I don't know. It's not for me. It doesn't really seem that interesting.
What the hell's wrong with you,
Story
Will?
just
He
What
doesn't
the
find
hell
it
is wrong
Okay,
with
okay, you
All
don't
right,
want to
let's
lose
get
too
back
many
to it. Let's
viewers.
get back to
Okay, yeah.
This
let's
kid,
just
we're
cut
gonna
that
have to- we're just gonna have to cut his
portion
feed
out,
right
okay?
No.
Well,
See what I
okay,
mean? See what
well-
I mean? Chaos.
Okay, well, I kind of want to go back to how we were talking about, VR. It's kind of still like early development type thing. It's still in the early stages. I think we're kind of getting back to that with the different textures and shaders, in newer games to where it's getting towards more realism. So like with the Death Stranding trailer, Stranding, and what was it? It was that one with the android. It was like Detroit something. The
Oh,
characters
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything, everything looks so real.
Yeah,
But
it's
because
very
of that,
good looking.
it's also like gone down in resolution and detail a bit. Like
Yeah.
I think it's the start of a new resolution type thing.
Yeah, the
So
kind of
it's
thing where
like
you're
everything-
sacrificing your resolution
Like in it-
for reality.
Yeah, and so in like a year or two, we're basically gonna be like, wait, is this filmed or is it actually CGI or game engine?
Right.
But I think it's really cool how we're getting to that new stage again. We're actually getting to see it from the beginning.
And it's really good, and I find that the most frustrating relationship to try to figure out is Xbox and Oculus because like as far as VR goes, because it's sort of like we're working with them, but we're not working with them. We're giving them the Xbox controllers, but we're not working with them. But we're gonna have exclusive games for them. It's like
It's like we're seeing each other, but we're not dating.
exactly. It's like
Well, it's
putting its
also like
complicated
the-
thing on Facebook. It's
Yeah.
like what the hell, man? Just make it official.
Actually, if you go on the Oculus Facebook right now, it says it's complicated.
Well, actually, it's like if you also with the cross-platform between like Xbox and PlayStation, and like, yeah, no, we totally want
I'm
that to happen.
very excited for that.
looks at Sony.
I would love to play Destiny with my PlayStation friends. I would love that, to be honest.
That would be
with you.
great. I feel like that's the one thing a lot of multiplayer games are missing. And it seems like you would look at games like Rocket League and you're like, "Oh, look, they're making it work." This is a great game where we're able to play cross-platform and, there really haven't been too many hiccups yet, at least that we know of. So it's like, what's the holdup? Like, what's the roadblock right now besides just the classic, we want to keep
They're
Microsoft
enemies.
things Microsoft and Sony things Sony.
Based on what I saw, it takes up a lot of extra development time because you have to find a sort of I guess you have to create a special online network to make sure that's compatible with both consoles, and also you have to worry about making sure that's balanced between the two because you don't want PlayStation users because generally PlayStation has higher sensitivity so that you move a lot faster, and Xbox normally has lower sensitivity, so you move a little bit slower. So it's
Yeah.
trying to find the middleman between the two that's really difficult. And
I guess
Yeah,
that's
That's
I
why
true.
think
Rocket League would be a great starter one.
exactly. Something smaller like Rocket League would be perfect, and eventually I would love to see something like Destiny pop up as a cross-platform thing. And
Well,
Yeah.
maybe for Destiny too.
Yeah, there
maybe
you
for
go. I was
Destiny
gonna say,
too, that would
especially when
be
it comes down to
really
like
awesome.
Maybe
putting
we'll
together
also
a
find
raid
story,
party
too.
and you have tons of people who are, spread out across multiple platforms. You're like, well, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do here. I'm
it's
gonna have to
also
go to
like-
LFG and get together with a bunch
Yeah.
of randos.
Well, it's also like Danny. I don't know if you have this issue in your group. But I know in RT Florida we have the issue where it's like we have
We don't have issues.
not too many PlayStation gamers, but we have like our
Damn right,
our
Chris.
Xbox gamers, and then we have our PC gamers, and it's like
Oh
We
yeah.
do a lot of Xbox gaming. It's like the people are who do PC, which unfortunately isn't a majority of the group, and I feel bad. But they're like, so when are we gonna do a PC game night? I'm like,
We tell
Here's
them
the
every
thing
time,
with,
just buy an Xbox One. Just buy an Xbox
Yeah,
One.
here's-
And you,
Xbox One. It's always safe.
Just
Yeah.
shovel out $300,
you don't-
maybe another $100 for a few games.
you don't need
Yeah,
the 300.
so,
Just give it to Microsoft.
As far as our group goes, we sort of have that issue because people, I guess, like our leader Michael, for example, he doesn't have a console. Someone actually stole his PlayStation.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Oh.
here's what happened. So Michael had his PlayStation, right? And I was talking to him about it in Hot Topic, and he's like,
I
"Yeah,
like how you called him your leader.
Wait, did you say
well,
you
I
talked to
mean,
him
he's
about
not
it while
the
you guys
leader.
were in?
I'm
Did you
only
just
an
say you're in
admin.
Hot Topic? Did you
Yeah,
just willingly admit that?
Well, because we were looking at Ruby stuff, because
Yeah,
we were
they
gonna
did
go grab
Ruby
some
merch,
Ruby
come
stuff.
on.
Right.
Looking at
So-
Ruby stuff at Hot
right,
Topic.
all right. So
You know you can
all
order
right,
that online.
So, anyways, Michael was talking about how they cut the cords of his console, didn't bother to pull out the cords,
What?
and left everything else there. They only stole the
I
PlayStation.
heard this story.
Yes.
Didn't he tell this in the chat?
Yes,
or
he did.
something?
He told this in the chat. He was talking about how someone stole his PlayStation, left the place perfectly clean, didn't take any of the TVs, the laptops, anything, just cut the
They
cords
just
of his
really-
PlayStation.
They had a Destiny raid that night, and his PlayStation crapped out and really needed a new one.
I know, right? He
Yeah.
was like, oh, listen, guys, I'll be back in 20 minutes. I know where I can find a PlayStation for cheap.
Yep. Well, yeah, so no, we definitely are looking into, because as an admin for the group, I'm always looking to involve people more. So doing stuff like game nights always is very interesting to me. So yeah, definitely something like Xbox would be a safe bet, because I know a lot of people have Xbox, because obviously it's Rooster Teeth and Halo and all that. So,
It's an aft
anyways,
description.
yeah.
But I
speaking-
just always find it's such a tough challenge. Like it's like,
Of
just,
course,
come on,
to
just
keep
get
people involved,
platform
yes.
compatibility.
Yeah.
Do it already.
Three things actually. So first of all, what consoles do you guys have? Because I have an Xbox.
I have Xbox, PlayStation, and I do PC.
Okay.
I have
I got the
a-
trifecta.
Yeah, I have
PC
an
as well.
Xbox One and PC, but I don't have too many games for the PC, so.
Okay. And Chris?
Oh, I have an Xbox and a PC.
Okay. Yeah, I have an Xbox and a PC, and I play on my friend's PlayStation. He lets me borrow it for like whenever there's an exclusive game out. Okay, so that's first of all. Second of all, the Xbox One backwards compatibility, I'm very happy about that. But
Yes.
have you guys heard the rumors going around that PlayStation might be implementing something like that? Because
Don't
I
they
know
already have that
a sort
implemented?
of-
You just have to spend $20 in order to play. a
I
game
know
you
that's
already
that's
own.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because right now you have to pay for it, whereas Xbox it's free. So
I have not heard about this.
Yeah, I
so
haven't
what is
heard anything
it?
about
So-
that either.
So basically, what they're gonna be doing, I'm not sure if it's real or not.
Allegedly.
You know, obviously,
Allegedly.
yeah, it's allegedly because a lot of things have been flying out of E3. But based
Yeah.
off of some articles I read, apparently the PlayStation is looking into making certain games free for backwards compatibility. But I'm not sure if that's sort of to entice people to buy the service to make it backwards compatible. But yeah. I really like how Xbox is making it for free right now. I'm glad that they're becoming more consumer friendly, whereas in the beginning it was the other way around, where PlayStation was more consumer friendly
Yeah.
and Xbox.
Definitely. I mean,
It's
especially
flipping.
considering
It's
that you-
flipping, which is irritating.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially considering, those are games that you've already purchased for a system. So it's like, what's the point in charging for a service so you can play old games that you already paid for?
I love
know-
the
And
commercial. Yeah,
that whole
for-
Xbox backwards compatibility, as soon as it came out, I was like, this is genius.
Yeah,
Not
and-
only are you going to open up Xbox One to all those great 360 games, but you're also going to lead to some business where someone that has an Xbox One is like, well, I can play Halo Reach on my Xbox One now. I'm going to go to a used game store and buy, Halo Reach, or buy whatever games that
Buy
are
like a
back.
$10 game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You're
for
going to
an
see
older
this huge
console.
flux of purchases for all those games, and that's, I don't know, I just like that's brilliant marketing, and honestly, it's just
Yeah.
being good guy Microsoft.
Well, and
I-
also I feel like because of that, because Microsoft and Xbox, their service, their backwards compatibility is free. If the whole PlayStation thing is true, I think eventually it won't be a paid service
Yeah.
because of Microsoft, because that would be their competition.
Yeah.
That is their competition.
And here's what happened with the PlayStation. With PlayStation 2, they sold so many that they were like, with the PlayStation 3, they were like, they'll buy anything that we'll make. And so they made all this stuff that people really didn't care about. And then the Xbox 360 is like, well, look at our console. It's amazing. And everyone was like, oh, I'm going to go buy an Xbox 360 instead of a PlayStation 2. And then Microsoft did the exact same thing with the Xbox One, where it's like, they'll buy anything, we'll make them. Here's the Xbox One. It's you guys didn't like any of this.
So the next generation should kick back to Xbox.
I know, exactly. And you already see the shifts going on from Sony, where it's like they used to be super consumer friendly in the very beginning, and they're still consumer friendly. To be fair, they are still consumer friendly. But the problem is that they're like making stuff that originally was expected to be free, a paid service and stuff like that. So that's why I'm thinking that Microsoft, maybe for the next Xbox, for Scorpio or whatever it is, maybe then they'll maybe overtake the PlayStation for whatever new console they're making for that.
I honestly didn't mind the original concept of the Xbox. I really loved the DRM concept. I know a lot of people hated it.
I didn't think it was that bad.
As long as it's like, a lot of people suggest like, oh yeah, as long as it's 24 hours, like, that's perfect. Because I mean, I'm here in the country.
The thing is that it's
the greatest internet connection.
Hey, who knows? Maybe the NX will take over. You never know.
Shit. That's not going to happen.
Victoria,
and you can always keep on hoping. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to use that as a segue.
Oh crap! That was my fault. I am so sorry, guys.
So Minecraft, right?
Will, let me.
Awesome.
No, fuck you, Danny. We're talking about Nintendo.
Will, here.
Okay.
Calm down.
All right, everyone.
Will,
just
let me introduce
break,
Will here.
Chips.
Let me introduce Will here. Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Will's Corner, where we talk about Nintendo all day, 24/7. And here's your
mics and walk away.
This is the part where
and
Will
here's
talks about
Will.
Go on a 30-minute rant.
No, but seriously though, I'd like to, if you guys are down for talking about the new Zelda game just a little bit, considering that's,
and
so
we're done. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us in Will Corner.
No, Chris, I'm not done.
Bring it back, please.
I know.
He's walking back and forth in the corner, crying.
I need this.
Everybody, I just want to let everybody know I'll be back in like 10 minutes here because this is going to take a while for Will.
Oh, no.
No, go ahead.
So Nintendo opens up E3 and basically just says, we are going to dedicate a majority of our time to talking about the new Legend of Zelda game. And they open up with a trailer, and the trailer is breathtaking. The game looks beautiful, and they announce the name, and it's The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. And at first, I was like,
very interesting concept.
Yeah, I definitely agree. At first, because like after they announced the title, I'm like, okay, what it is about this game that would make them want to call it Breath of the Wild? And when they started diving into the Treehouse event, where they were doing a lot of gameplay, they talked about the open world. They definitely showed how expansive the new world is going to be, and they also mentioned that the world that you could explore in the demo was like 1% to 2% of the entire map, which was just crazy. And so moving on, they also had, the art style is great. I love the cell shading. I feel like that's going to be like, a timeless graphic design. And then they moved on to show how there's going to be hunting and gathering in this game. You're not going to be able to chop down grass anymore and get hearts. You're gonna have to hunt for food.
Such immersion.
I know, exactly.
It's supposed to be very immersive, and it's also supposed to be like a sort of post-apocalyptic because you can see old locations from the Zelda universe. Stuff like the Temple of Time is just like covered in vines and stuff like that, which is really cool to me because it's like, oh, I was gone for so long, and now I'm back in this world that I kind of recognize, but it's very different as well.
Yeah, they touched on that in Treehouse when they were talking about the intro, that Link has been asleep for 100 years. And I almost feel like what it was is he left, and the world kind of went into this decline where people started, gathering up and forming these little villages, and nature kind of started taking over the land. And when you wake up, you're suddenly thrown into this world where you have to hunt for food, you need to do all this stuff in order to survive. And I think some people attribute it to like a Legend of Zelda survival game.
Can you imagine if like Zelda's like an old lady and she's
I know, right? Link's Link sees her and he's like, oh god, he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna rescue you.
Do you have a granddaughter?
I have boars to hunt. But they also, in the trailer, they also showed that you could do climbing, and I think a lot of people talked about how that was reminiscent of Assassin's Creed, which I totally agree with, and I thought that was badass. And
I think it's gonna be really cool, but I'm really excited to be honest with you. And I know that I'm kind of in the minority here, but I was really excited to see Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yes.
Like all the stuff that they had for that, because they said it was gonna be the entirety was basically gonna be Zelda, and then they switched over to half the conference being just Pokemon Sun and Moon. And I'm actually I didn't see the entire press conference. Did they eventually start talking about Pokemon Go?
Yeah, they had about, I think it was a 45-minute treehouse session on Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Go
that is
sounded
awesome.
really cool. So yeah, they
That's
talked about
coming
how you
out
had
soon,
this
isn't it?
I can't wait to
attachment
throw
for your
my
phone.
iPhone at the wall. I really
know,
can't
right?
wait.
Pokemon Go! You're like, oh shit, what have I done?
I caught $350 of repairs. Yay!
Yeah, they had a demo of it of somebody catching a Pokemon, and it looked really cool. It was that whole thing, which I know the technology has been around for a while, but where you're looking at your camera. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, AR.
Know, the whole
so amazing.
And I'm not really sure how they're going to integrate that well so that it looks pretty good without having any kind of like reference frame or any kind of like reference card like they did with the 3DS.
It's really weird because Pikachu's floating in the sky. Is he a flying Pikachu? What's going on here?
It's it's the Pikachu from Pokemon Yellow with the balloons.
Oh, the
Yeah,
one
he
that
has a
can
cape
surf,
now.
of course.
But yeah, it was
Cape's
really
$5
interesting
extra,
to see
though.
when they moved to Pokemon, because it was like, our whole Nintendo press conference treehouse thing is going to be on Legend of Zelda, and then right after they show the Zelda trailer, they're like, and now for an hour-long thing on Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I was like, what the hell?
Were you upset by that?
I was upset by that initially because I was just rabid for any information I could get on Legend of Zelda.
Obviously, yeah, so that makes sense, yeah.
But after I started watching it, I was like, oh, well, this is actually really interesting because,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every new Pokemon game that comes out, they're adding a little bit to it, adding a little bit until, we're seeing some really great gameplay that we haven't seen before, especially when it comes to, like, roaming around the world.
Honestly, I'm a little bit, like, at this point, I'm just like, okay, so you have these brand new Pokemon, right? How about instead of using the 8-bit voice things that you do normally, how about you just make them do what they do in, like, what's in the universe? Like, they say their name or whatever, because that's well established in the universe, and they're just like, no, they make those 8-bit noises.
I know, I feel like they're going to run out of 8-bit noises.
I know, right? It's like,
you'd think
they're going to be
that
1,000, actually,
really
with this new one, isn't
familiar.
there? They're
Oh my
reaching
gosh,
1,000 this
seriously?
time, right? I think so.
Holy
I think they're
crap.
reaching 1,000 at this point. Because I remember for 6, I think it was 700. No, it was even more than that. I think
It's like 830 something, I think.
830. There we go. Yeah. So with this new one, I feel like they could breach 1,000 if they really tried.
Yeah, if they had some... I just picture, like, some dude sitting in a closet who just continuously draws different types of creatures, and they're like, no, yes, no, yes, 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 no, and they're, like, whipping the guy, draw faster!
No, Will, don't you know they use kids' drawings for those, and then they just have someone, like, outline it a bit darker? It's like, yeah, that's a good squiggle. Let's use that.
Let's just
go.
use that Digimon thing that we see and copy those things.
There you go.
We already did that with Mega Evolutions. Why not just do the regular Digimon as well? Yeah.
Oh,
Let's do it, guys.
Seriously, though. I'm wondering, like, I'm wondering how long that can last. Like, at what point are you like, all right, let's take a shoe and give it wings and some eyes, and bam, new Pokemon.
Well, to be honest with you, I think that if they just simply, like, the fans, if they really knew them well, they could just make the same Pokemon, but like a brand new story in a brand new region, and people would be happy about that. I guarantee you, if people...
With maybe, like, new legendaries
Too
or
easy.
something.
Well, while it's too easy, if you give me a game that's like Pokemon Red and Blue remastered, but it's like a brand new story following a brand new character and stuff like that would be awesome to me. I would
Ash's
happily
brother,
take it.
Charcoal.
Oh, there you go.
Victoria, you were a little quick on that one. Is that you have some fan
She's
fiction
been saving
out on
that one. Oh, wow.
No comment.
No comment.
Oh, so I guess that's the end of the Nintendo thing, because I want to ask you guys about this really quick. The Xbox One Slim. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, it's coming up. I mean, not coming up. It was to come up eventually.
Yeah.
They've done it for every generation.
I Yeah, I think that they shot themselves in the foot though, because they announced 2 consoles at once, and that's not a. I don't know.
Double
I
the
feel like that's not a
consoles,
good
double the
idea.
fun.
Was it? There's
Yeah.
the Slim
Buy 'em
and the
all.
Scorpio. We don't know a whole lot about the Scorpio yet.
That is true, but we know it's going to be like triple the power of what's
What was
considered
it?
for
It's
the
like-
Xbox One right now. So
Those teraflops.
those teraflops.
Teraflops. I feel like what it
Mhm.
was is that the Xbox One Slim was basically just like a small upgrade, so that's like anybody who was going to be buying an Xbox One now
They
has
had
this
to do
option.
The Slim. They're like, we've done it 3 generations now.
Exactly.
We have to do a Slim.
It's like we
I-
have
I
this.
like-
We need an overpowered version of the same thing but small.
It is kind of cool how it is like a whole lot smaller.
I
though,
do
will admit.
love-
I'm not.
there's no
gonna
power
get it
brick.
because I have my Xbox One and it works fine. If it breaks, I'll get a Slim, but.
Exactly,
for me to
and that's
get
what
one.
my mentality is like I have an Xbox One. Oh, look, the Scorpio's coming out. Should I buy this new one and then buy Scorpio next year, or should I just wait for the Scorpio? And that's
Yeah.
I think the Slim's more to bring in people who don't have like all the PlayStation users who have a PlayStation already, and they just like were thinking about getting an Xbox maybe. So maybe that'll draw in those sort of people. But for people like us, it's just like we already have it. Why would we buy it because the new one's coming out?
I
Exactly.
think
Yeah.
it
And-
provides like a nice little middle ground for like because
Yeah.
probably Scorpio is going to cost a lot. It's not going to
Oh,
be
yeah,
no $300-$400, and so this
If Microsoft
allows
is smart,
people to get a high quality console for a
If-
slightly lower price.
if they're smart, they will work as hard as they can to make it the same price as what the the Slim is right now, which is $299, I think.
Yeah, and I
So-
feel like
It
that
all
would be a great
depends on what
marketing
it's going to
move.
be, though, because they're coming out with 2 different iterations. I'm hoping they're going to do something different. That it's not just going to be like, oh yeah, it's an Xbox with, a better processor. I don't know.
Well, what they said is that it's going to have 4K. It's going to support VR and 4K very well. As they
but
kind of
that-
hinted towards that. They're like talking about VR and 4K.
That's about
and
it,
the
though. I
power
can
of it.
wait.
Yeah.
I can wait for the next generation Xbox and get that as well, or I can do it on a PC or whatever.
Here's
I
the
don't
thing.
want that to be the only thing.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
see what you're saying, but here's the thing about I think that this is sort of their introduction to the yearly model sort of thing that they've been talking about.
I hope they don't do that.
No, but I'm fine with this because if it is backwards and forwards compatible, I would be fine with buying a new Xbox in like 3 years when I'm ready or something like that.
No, and that's fine, but PlayStation didn't do that. I mean, not saying that Xbox not going to do that because my point is that if a lot of things can go sideways when they do stuff like that. That's my
suppose.
worry.
I can see why, because it's something that hasn't been done before in the console market. It's very similar or very familiar for the PC market, but
Yeah.
something like a console, I think that if Xbox plays their cards right, if they make every single game that they can available on PC, Xbox, and they make all the games backwards and forwards compatible, I think people would be happy with the Xbox being very similar to the PC in the sense that it's not going to get outdated by mobile. Like, just like an iPhone is more powerful than it, to be honest with you, So I think that it may be a good move, but it's very risky. I can see what you're saying.
So, Chris, are you going to buy an Xbox One Slim?
No.
Oh,
Not gonna,
speaking
not
of-
gonna-
No.
I forgot.
And it's-
Guys,
oh.
the power box is on the inside of the console.
I know. No more trying to hide the power brick behind your entertainment center.
Whoa! So you guys realize how bad it is. Great. Ugh. It's horrible. I hate it. I'm so glad that they're getting rid of it, but still.
I mean, it's crazy that it took this long. I'm wondering why, in the past few years, companies haven't been like, you know what? I wonder what I can do to integrate this into my system. Because you look at computers or you look at laptops and you're like, okay, obviously I can't put a power brick inside an Ultrabook, but if I have this big boxy console, what's keeping me from taking that power brick and just sticking it in the corner and putting a fan next to it?
Can you imagine the guy that pitched that in the meeting? Like, guys, what if we take that big box that we have outside and put it inside the even bigger box?
What if
Good
we make
God.
it disappear inside the box?
Good job.
Someone give that man a
Genius.
raise.
No, it's like that. It's like that meme where they have like the original thing. It's like, all right, we need to make it bigger and better, and they add like a balloon or something.
Oh, yeah,
to
There
it.
you go.
Yeah.
Or like that meme, or was it a
Xbox
comic online
One
that I
with
saw where it's
100%
like,
more
it's like,
balloons.
sir, we need to make a bunch of money. What do? I have an idea. What if we just release the game before it's finished? He's like, sir, that's a horrible idea. No one will ever. And then they're like getting showered in money.
Yeah.
It's funny thing
yeah,
about memes; they're always true.
RTX.
I love memes.
RTX.
Oh, wait,
Yes.
before you get into that,
RTX.
let's play
got
live.
something.
Let's play live. So
That's true. You guys
Yeah.
had that over there.
Oh, you sons of
I
bitches!
went to
You
it.
sons of
It
bitches!
was great. It was amazing, and I loved it. I
Brag
actually
about
So
it.
I got some
for
video.
those of us who
Yeah.
couldn't make it and they didn't live stream it, they'll probably do another documentary like they did. What was your favorite part of it? What was like it?
Oh my god.
Not even like, oh yeah, I
Gimp.
laughed a lot. Like what blew
Gimp.
you away?
Okay,
Gimp.
so the
Gimp.
heist was
Gimp.
it was pretty good,
Gimp.
but I do think. Oh wait, is Chris saying my name?
No, he
Gimp.
said Gimp.
Oh, Gimp.
Gimp.
The Gimp. The heist was pretty good. The Gimp was hilarious. I just like when he pulled out like the nipple clamps or whatever they are. Everyone in the audience was
God.
like, "Oh!" It was so amazing. But
Just
so, yeah.
remember, the Oscars will be there next year.
Yes, absolutely. And another two really good things that I thought was really overlooked was Jeremy rapping to Tower of Pimps, TOP. So they replaced all Ray's scenes with Jeremy's, which instead of like Ray like jerking off in the corner or whatever, they replaced it with like Jeremy throwing the invisibility potion at himself. So yeah, but
That's really cool.
yeah, it was pretty good, and I really thought that something that was overlooked as a really good portion of the show was just Gavin and Jeff trying to throw gummy bears, having a gummy bear war. Did you guys see that?
No.
Okay,
Negative.
so they basically got like a bag of Haribo gummy bears, and they just like started throwing it into each other's mouths, and they like try to catch it, and they kept on missing. And eventually, at one point, Jeff shoved Gavin onto the floor and put his finger up his butt, which was pretty amazing.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh!
He's like, I might be the first person to put a finger in an anus in this on this stage, and we all just applauded for him.
Dude!
So, yeah.
Oh gosh.
It was
So
pretty
on
great. It
that
was
note,
pretty
let's
great.
just go straight to RTX.
Yeah. There
Well,
you go.
I will say for Let's Play Live, next step they've done Central, they've done West. East
Time to
Coast is
come to
next.
Orlando.
They don't have a West.
That's Let's Play Live was on the West.
Oh, okay.
Coast.
I see what you mean. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about RTX. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
was
time
like,
to bring
I was
something
talking
out
about
to
Let's
the
Play
East
Live.
Coast
did they
slash
announce
Florida.
something? Thank God.
So yeah, RTX.
Yeah, RTX.
2016.
I'm going.
6th year.
I'm going.
I believe we are all going. Yes.
Yay.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. I am really, really looking forward to this. Especially, I feel like I don't know about you guys, but you've all been to RTX before, right?
Yeah, I have. I went there 3
Okay.
years ago.
So I feel like going to RTX after already going there for the first time is really awesome because you have expectations. You know, like I need to be here. I want to go see these panels. This is how I'm going to budget
you
my
understand
time.
it a lot better. Yeah,
Exactly, and you know, like these are the panels I really want to go to. Like, you know, I went to the Ruby panel, and you know, it wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be. So instead of going to the Ruby panel, I'm going to try and make it to the podcast panel or whatever it is. It's like
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel like
And-
I feel like much more in control of my schedule as opposed to the first time that I ever went there.
And the
And let
schedule
me-
in app is really good to organize your whole schedule. It'll send you alerts and stuff like that. And
Most
that's something
definitely.
that they didn't have when I first went. I went
They-
in 2013.
yeah, Yeah, they came out with it 3 years ago actually, which I think that would be 2013. But
oh, really?
so they had
well,
the app
whatever,
then,
whatever. I didn't know
but
about
it didn't
Oh, Danny, what
alert
a
you.
noob.
What they
What a
had
noob.
was they had the app. It had the schedule on it. It had the panels, autographs, things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
you're right.
But
But yeah,
all
there was
you
no
could
schedule.
do was see it. It
Yeah.
didn't have. You couldn't actually. No, you might have been able to create your own schedule.
I don't think you could. I remember I downloaded the app, but I don't think that you could create a schedule, and I think that's why.
But hey, you could upload pictures.
You can upload pictures, which is great. And,
Oh, I didn't even know that. Man, I need
yeah.
to go through this app.
Okay, there you go, man. And
take it from probably the
Oh,
one
look
of
at
the longest
that.
reigning RTX attendees here.
Bottom middle photos.
Are you guys-
6 years in a row.
are you guys gonna be Guardians or no?
No,
No,
not this year. I'm thinking next year. I don't know.
No.
There's so much to do each year. Like I said, I've been to every single RTX,
Yeah,
and I'm still doing new stuff each year.
Yeah.
I'm really happy. Honestly, when I went to RTX, I was very happy. I know that it was really unorganized back in like the early years, like 2011 to through 2013. Those were
let's go to
unorganized
2014
years.
there.
Okay, well,
too.
11 wasn't bad just because it was, like
Small.
Well, it was bad in the sense that there were 500 people standing in a field with no AC.
Yeah.
Solid.
Pool party was pretty fun. 12 when they finally got the convention center, it actually wasn't that bad because it wasn't incredibly large yet.
Yeah.
2013,
Super large,
that's
unorganized.
that's when it went to shit. 14, yeah, okay. 15,
The autograph
again.
lines
It
were
somehow
awful in
randomly
2014.
went to shit again. Like, I don't know, they threw out the rule book or something.
I
What, are you
think that
talking
this
about
year's
2015?
going to be very organized, though.
Yeah,
it
15.
seems
The
really
lines
good.
was the big thing. Yeah, and 16. Let's hope they're taking like a step forward again, which it seems that way. The biggest thing is always going to be the lines.
I will
Yeah.
never forget the fact that I was just really skeptical about Ruby, and I was just like, whatever. Oh, there's a panel going on? All right, whatever. So I went in, I saw the first episode, and I came out, and I was like, I cannot wait to see this show.
I was so upset. I went to the Ruby panel, and they started playing the episode while people were still being funneled into the room, so I just missed it. I was one of
Oh,
those people still
Victoria.
walking in.
I was sitting down, and I was like, it was like little
Oh,
13-year-old me. So
We could hear it, and that was even worse. We could hear it.
Aw.
Yeah.
It's
But
like
we
you
got
hear
to-
Lindsay's voice, and you're like, I want to see
Yeah.
it. Wait.
But we got to see the beginning of the panel when Monty and everyone came out and started talking about it, at least. So I mean that, and we got to. We didn't get to actually see the episode.
Yeah, well, you got to see the intro at the very end, like when they showed the intro, because we didn't see the intro until the very end with you guys, so that was at least good. And yeah, I went there, and you know what I realized in 2013? All the photos that I got were from people from the internet box, every single one. I got signatures from other people, but every single photo was like with Ray, Carrie, Barbara. So there's just people from the internet.
So you had the entire internet box experience.
Not entire. I was obviously missing a few, like,
Yeah.
Mike,
Well, I just meant in terms of
Dylon.
like people who were probably there or who are more accessible because they were walking
Yeah.
around the floor.
Yeah, I don't think Dylon was there or was it Andy? I can't remember. It was like either Dylon or Andy wasn't there for 2013, but
So
yeah, Barbara's so sweet. I love Barbara. She was so nice to me.
what's the attendance supposed to be like for RTX 2016? Because
What do you
last year it was about what, like 40 to 45,000.
It was 40,000.
So 40,000. What are
Oh,
they?
I have
what
no
are the numbers
idea.
supposed to be this year?
This time I thought it was 60,000.
That
Yeah.
I thought they
does
mentioned
sound
60,000.
Oh my
right.
gosh, that's so many
Yes.
people.
Well, because now they're at they're at the Hilton again, and they have like 2 floors of the Hilton, or not of the convention center because of SGC.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is so you're increasing the number to 60,000, but the ballrooms in which they have a lot of the panels, those aren't getting any bigger. And I realized that they're having like 2 Ruby panels, and I think are they having 2 Achievement Hunter panels again?
Yeah.
No, they're
No,
having only
actually,
one.
they're not.
I'm so surprised.
Yeah,
because
that's
everyone's
gonna
gonna
be
want to go
but
to
what
that.
they
That's
what
gonna
they
be a
did was they
madhouse.
split it off into a Let's Play panel.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, it's
Okay,
not with
but
all the
still, I
achievement
mean-
hunters though is the issue. But
It has Jeff and
That's it?
I
It's just
want
Jeff?
to say, I thought it might have had like Gavin or
no,
But still,
the
you're
Let's
gonna
Play is
have-
just the leaders of the groups.
something. Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna have
Which is ironic because it should be Lindsay now.
you're gonna have
I know, right?
20,000 more people there,
Well,
right?
to
Well,
be
he's
fair,
he's the
they-
leader of Let's Play.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna
Oh,
have
that's yeah.
you're gonna have 20,000 more people there, right?
Mhm.
But
Yep.
though the size
Yeah.
of those ballrooms aren't increasing, so I feel like the lines are probably going to be even more out of control. So I'd be curious to see if they're going to try and use Guardians a little better in terms of,
Yeah.
capping lines and
Oh, no, well,
getting
the
those
thing
lines
is-
under control.
They've been trying to do that for the past 3 years. It would have been 3 years because 2013 was when it really started to get bad. They always try to cap the lines, but the thing is, you have to remember that there are only so many Guardians.
Yeah.
They're all volunteers. They're not professionals, even if they've done this, like 2 or 3 years now. And it doesn't matter because people are still going to try to snake their way in. They're still going to line up. They're going to tell everyone, no, you have to leave. And then more people are just going to come.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, it's a tough battle, and that's why you have to respect the Guardians. Because
Most
oh
definitely.
my god!
Shout
Yeah.
out to the Guardians.
Shout out to the Guardians for being awesome.
Shout out to RTX lines.
RTX. I thought that was a great idea, by the way.
I
Just
didn't even
having,
know
like,
what
a
to think
Twitter
about it when I first saw it. I thought it was
dedicated-
fake.
I thought it was good because to be honest with you, it's really helpful to just hear like, oh, don't bother coming here. The line's
exactly.
capped.
And that's why, I did, my schedule yesterday, and I got to the point where it's like I highlighted, all right, I definitely want to go to these. If I can get into these,
I give
great,
myself
I'll go.
a 60-minute alert. So like 60 minutes ahead of
nice.
time, I need to be there.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, what I'm going to do is like I set 60-minute alert. And then whenever those pop up, I'm also going to set them to 30-minute alert again.
Just to remind yourself, just in case.
Like,
Yeah.
if I somehow get distracted, it's like, shit.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I think that it's going to be... I think it's going to be a lot of fun this year. And listen, when we're grabbing our badges, because I'm not sure if it changed in previous years, but 2013 was atrocious.
2015
trying to
was
get
pretty
your
good.
badge.
2013 was bad. They fixed it after that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
2015 was
I
fun.
don't
It's
need to show up at
streamlined
4
now.
in the morning just to get my badge,
No,
right?
get
Okay,
it.
thank God.
I don't know what day you come in, but you can get them Thursday.
Oh, really? Okay, great. I
Yes.
come
Oh,
in
yeah.
Thursday at 1:30. Oh,
Yeah. So
Last-
like, I'm pretty much gonna go like at the airport. I'm gonna tell my driver like just drop me off at the convention center. I'll just bring my suitcase in with me, go and get my badge and my bag, and then go to the hotel.
Yeah, last year when
my
I got
hotel's really
there,
far.
it was like I showed up and I got there pretty late. I think I got to the convention center at around maybe like 3 or 4, and by that time the line was already died down, and I didn't even have to wait to get my badge. So
Mhm.
That's
it
really
was easy peasy.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
there.
Especially
at, like,
since they did it
one.
in multiple
Never get the
locations.
actual day.
Crazy. I had to wait like 30 minutes to get my badge, but I got it
Yeah,
early.
what I thought was terrible, 2013 actually, which is the
I
terrible
know,
year.
it's the year I
They put-
went.
They put
Come
the registration room in the same room
Yes.
with the autographs.
Oh
They
my
did
God,
that in
it was
2014
awful.
too.
One year, maybe it was 14 then. I don't know, but
No, it was
I
2013.
want to say it was 13.
Yeah,
okay,
it was 13.
But what I did was I spent one whole day. They did the kind of like the smaller autographs in that room. And what I did was I went and just like line hop between the panels. So I got like all of the freelancer voice actors and like the Red versus Blue kind of like minor caster and they're the voice actors. I went and I just got them all day, and we were just sitting in that room.
That's
And honestly, I was watching people get backed up
yeah.
in the registration lines because they were trying to get it, and it's just like it's competing with the autograph lines, and it was like, oh my goodness.
And that's the issue.
This is terrible.
Yeah, that's the issue. I think that them adding in the sort of signups for the autographs is a good idea, just because it was horrible getting into a line, because I did that like probably 3 times to get an autograph, and they would just like cut me off, and they'd be like, no, sorry guys, you guys down the line, I know you've been waiting here for like half an hour or whatever, but you guys need
Yeah.
to get out. And it's like, well, so
Which I'm interested to see, because I know a lot of like Matt and Bernie, they like to talk to their their people who are getting the signatures a lot, and I know in the emails and the tweets they're like, if you got a ticket, you will get to see them and talk to them and get an autograph. So I'm interested to see. It's gonna happen. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do for the people that get cut off, like when it hits like the end time.
Well, luckily this time they have like most of them have like a 2-hour leeway or whatever, so it's really good.
Especially for the larger ones, but
Yeah.
still, that's going to be taken up. There are going to be people who are going to get there really late, and they're not going to get to see them. So I want to know what they're going to do. Like, they're going to do something. They're not going to be like, sorry, you can't see them.
Yeah, well, who did you guys get for your autograph thing? Because I got Gray and Jordan. Who did you guys get?
I got Matt and Bernie, and then I also, thanks to someone else, I got
Wow, you forgot their name.
Chris and
I think she
Just
purposefully
kidding.
did not say the
Gray.
name.
I'm just kidding. Chris and Gray, that's good.
Yeah.
I
What
got
about you, Will?
I got Jeff and I got Jason.
That's good.
So I'm
Gavin
really
and
looking forward to it, especially 'cause
Gus.
Nice,
Gavin and
that's a
Gus.
good one,
I'm
Chris.
upset I didn't get Gavin and Gus. That was the first one I wanted to do, because I am working on what was it, 2012 I think it was, or it might have been 13. Hell, I don't know. They gave you the card pack in your little bag.
Yeah, I love that. That card back was
and
awesome.
I
I
am
still have it.
I'm working on getting those signed. So of course I don't have Gavin and Gus, and that autograph would have been perfect.
To be honest with you, I've never
And I
opened
missed it.
I have it since 2013. I can pull it out of my drawer right now. I've never opened it. It's always just been in
Well,
the
I will
packaging.
tell you, you're gonna love one of the queen faces.
I can't wait. What in 10 years when I decide to open it, there we go. I'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what Victoria was talking about.
You'd
Yeah.
be like, And you'll know exactly what I'm talking about too.
I'll forget about it and then I'll
You
immediately
will
remember.
know.
So I know,
You'll remember this
I know you guys
podcast.
have that Rooster Rumble match against RT New York, so I figured we could start wrapping things up.
Sure.
That's a
Yeah,
perfect
we
idea.
I'm just, yeah. I mean,
Hey,
I'm
even
pretty
though
much
you're
down,
not playing, you can watch.
I know, yeah.
Twitch.tv/_RT_Florida.
And if you're
Oh,
listening to
off the
this,
top of her
Yeah.
head.
Wow.
you can't.
Listen, when you stream on it and you have to tweet it out, you know that off the top of your head.
And if you're listening to this right now, you can
Oh.
watch our previous broadcast of this said Rooster Rumble match.
Hey, but guys, before we
At the same URL.
before we leave, I think we should address something that's very big in the news right now. It's been just clawing at the minds of all of us, and we all should probably talk about it.
Oh God.
X-Ray and Vav, right? You guys.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but it's like I'm gonna
I mean,
miss it so much.
Yeah, well, it's like what was supposed to happen. I mean, I feel like especially with Camp coming out,
Yeah,
you know,
and
I
they
feel
removed
like that's gonna put a lot of strain on the animation department to try and do
they
both.
removed the shirt from the store. It's not there anymore. The US store.
Lay sad.
I have X-Ray shirt though, so I'm happy.
I do not, but whatever. Maybe eventually they'll bring it back or do a HD.
Ooh, I totally bet.
remastered.
Or maybe
Do you
like
think they're gonna have X-Ray and Vav shirts at RTX?
To be honest with you, I
Oh,
think
that's
that,
a good point.
I think
They
that,
might.
Yeah, I think that they actually might make like a spin-off show or something like that. You know, like
It'll be Hilda and Orf.
I'd love to
Hilda
see
North.
I'd love to see a cameo on Camp.
I would,
Yes, you'll see like baby Hilda in science camp.
or I would love to just see like Ash being like an undercover reporter trying to like expose the camp for being not legitimate and stuff like that.
There you
That would
go.
be
No.
awesome to me.
They have to put in another Flint Coal.
They need to do another one because they've done it in Ruby. They've done it in
X-Ray and
X-Ray
Vav.
and Vav?
It's
Wasn't he
I
in
mean, I don't
Laser
know if
Team
you
as
should
well?
Count Let's Play.
He was
No.
I don't remember if he was in Laser Team or not. I don't think so.
I love seeing. By the way, I love seeing Mika on screen. I was like, yes, I know her. And it was awesome. I really love Mika. Mika's awesome.
Oh, let's wrap it up. All right, so
So Chris, if
Danny-
if people want to see a lot of our content, where can they go?
oh, so they can go straight to our. They can go to our Twitter, at RT_Florida. They can go to our Facebook. Also, it's facebook.com/RT Florida. Or
Groups slash RT-Florida.
so that one.
Remember link dump.
Whatever. Good
What is-
enough.
Yeah.
It's in the linked
Yeah.
up. There's the Twitch channel, which we already mentioned. You can keep up to date on this podcast through our Facebook, Slightly Off podcast.
And Chris, you're forgetting the most
The
important one again.
Chris, the most
Oh,
important
absolutely.
one.
that's why I'm saving it for last. Give me one more second here, guys.
Guys, don't steal my thunder.
Don't steal my thunder. You can also follow our Slightly Off podcast on Twitter, because I'm making that totally in about like 2 minutes.
Slightly
from
off
now.
topic, or
Oh, did I say
Oh,
slightly
Chris.
off? Oh gosh, darn it again.
no, just kidding.
So
You said it in the dry run. Yeah.
Slightly Off podcast, just
Yeah.
like that, not the other one that I just said. And then most importantly, you can keep up to date on every single thing we do
It's so magical.
on
You said that.
on the Rooster Teeth site. You can find us in the groups as RT Florida. All right.
Yeah.
Woot woot.
Sorry to have
Well,
cut this episode short, everybody.
Well, all right.
We gotta go kick some New York
gotta go
butt.
kick
Yeah,
some
New
New
York.
York.
Listen, I
RT
guess
New York, we're
I'll-
coming for you.
All right.
We're
So
going for you
listen.
hard.
where can
I'll-
we find everybody else individually, and more importantly to Danny?
Richard Teeth, California.
Okay.
Nice plug.
I was like,
you want to
trying
plug anything
get
else
my
there,
point.
Danny?
Yeah, I was like, Richard Teeth, California. All right, hey guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we want to
yeah,
we
well-
want to thank Danny for being a guest on our
Aw, thank you.
Slightly
Yes,
Off podcast.
and, you know,
It was-
we'll give them an extra few seconds. Danny, where
Oh,
can they
thank
find you and more information?
Okay, so as far as Richard Teeth,
And
California
that's the
goes,
show.
all right,
Hey,
all right,
great
guys,
show,
it was
everybody.
Nice having me.
But seriously,
You can find us at RT SoCal. Well, RT SoCal, that's our group. It's facebook.com/groups/RT SoCal. No spaces. You can also go on our Twitter, which is at.
Because URLs have spaces.
Mm-hmm. Well, well, you could also go visit our Twitter, which is, I believe, it's at RT_SoCal. And yeah, I would say my Twitter is at. I messed that up. My Twitter is at @AH_Dan the Man. That is also my name on the site. That is also my name everywhere else except for Xbox, where I'm RT Dan the Man. So yeah, because AH Dan the Man is
Ironic, don't you
taken.
think?
I hate it because some guy with a Zune account has it and I can't have it. So
Some guy with a Zune account.
fucking Zune. I knew it.
I still have 2 of
All
those,
right,
but
so-
no point.
That one time Zune comes back to kick you in the ass.
I know, right? It's still getting me.
Should have joined. Should have joined.
Should have joined. I knew it.
Zunorama.
So,
All right,
anyways,
well,
thank you so much for
let's wrap
having
this up.
me.
Yeah.
It was nice being on here. I'm never gonna be invited again because
No,
sure.
you're not coming back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're a
Yeah.
terrible
We
guest,
put it up to
but
vote.
thank you for being the first out-of-state guest.
You're
welcome.
number 1.
I'm glad I tried.
Remember that.
Just remember, Danny, if we get desperate, we'll probably call you.
Okay, maybe.
We gotta
Although
get
we
this
might
one.
try Michael first.
I'll sit in the corner, just rock back and forth, be like,
When am I coming back? When am I coming back?
Is that
like-
the same corner that I'm in? Talking
yeah,
about
it's the same
Nintendo?
one that you're in. It's actually in the opposite corner of the room. It's
a little bit
Adjacent
darker.
to each other.
It's like when
they
Mike.
just don't know it.
It's like when Mike ended the Internet Box podcast. And he's like, "Well, I guess I'll wait till they come back." And the camera slowly pans out, and I'm just sitting in front of my computer screen waiting.
Crying.
And that is how the podcast ends. So, thanks
Great.
for
Well,
having me,
thank
guys.
you everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time.
Yay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Do awesome because you're awesome. So be awesome because awesome.